Leaders also point to rising utility costs. BGE recently approved rate hikes, which the company says will help repair aging infrastructure in Baltimore and the surrounding areas. But residents say they can't afford the change. Jessica Babb joins us live now after speaking to one Harford County man struggling to keep up with rising energy costs. Jessica.
While the cold weather does play a big role in your energy bill, it doesn't tell the whole story. Right now, some Marylanders have energy bills over $1,000, and across the board, many are wondering how they'll make it work. Inside this Harford County condo.
This is my television that's almost never on.
This is the place Kurt Howard calls home.
Here by myself most of the time. My heat's set very low. I have energy efficient appliances that I replaced over the last 2 years. I don't use a lot of hot water. I, wash dishes by hand. Only do laundry every other week.
Just under 1,200 square feet.
We had old appliances, so I swapped everything out.
With only a few lights on and a few things plugged in.
I do listen to records on the weekends.
And the temperature inside set in the low 60s.
I tried to minimize my usage as much as I could to keep my bill low. And then when I try it and it comes back twice as much as what I spent last year.
His BGE bill from around January of 2024, about $100. But this year, about a year later, it more than doubled to $267.
I mean, it's unacceptable that they did this to us.
He's another victim of rising energy bills, and he's not the only one. Dallas Royer is faced with a more than $1,200 BGE bill for her 2,000 square foot home. We talked in between Instacart deliveries, something she's doing on the side with her fiance just to pay her energy bill.
It's worse than feeling stuck because I have my stepson that comes every other weekend. So it's not just, if the BGE gets cut off, it's not just like me being affected.
Part of these high bills are because of BGE rate hikes as BGE upgrades their infrastructure, something they say is necessary.
I think it was entirely a mistake to give BGE a monopoly and not have them compete because they're able to pull stuff like this, and we don't have any choice of where to go. They got us. It's like not like you can. What are my options? There are no.
But it's also the result of a much larger issue statewide.
We don't have our own power in the state for the most part. That's what's killing us all.
For years, lawmakers have been focused on clean and renewable energy, passing legislation like the Climate Solutions Now Act of 2022, on top of goals to produce clean energy, reduce emissions, and have more electric vehicles.
It sounded good in the campaign. Oh, by 2030, we're going to be all renewable. But the fact of it is they had no way of doing it.
And while the focus on the climate has been front and center, power plants are closing, the cost of energy is increasing, the energy demands are growing, renewable energy isn't producing nearly enough, and Maryland is importing a significant amount of energy from other states.
I know it's hard, but think about us every now and then. That these are really real consequences that you saddle us with for your feel-good programs.
And while lawmakers are trying to come up with some sort of solution, in the meantime, Howard says he's stuck in the middle.
I know there's another increase coming in June. I don't know where that money comes from, where I'm going to find places to cut more into my power.
And while some BGE costs are increasing, BGE is also quick to point out that some of the costs you see on your bill, they don't control some things related to state policies or even the price of energy. It is also important to note that from our past reporting, we found that residents in other surrounding states are seeing much smaller energy bills. Live in Baltimore, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.